West Coast's inconsistency on the road continued Sunday afternoon with the club suffering its worst loss of the season to the Bombers by a whopping 61 points. The players now searching for a swift response with the second place GWS looming this weekend. Welcome to a very dreary Eagle review.
It's going about as good as your voice, mate.
Monday, oh, you can tell I'm on the injury list, broken voice box, watching it on TV's done my head in. Ben Roberts, I know you wanted to throw in the towel and just check off Eagle review, but I appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
You were at the game. You did nothing. Tell me, what was your opinion of it and the coach's opinion of it on Sunday afternoon from Etihad?
Yeah, it was ordinary. It wasn't good. No one cares what I have to say.
True.
Let's hear what the senior coach had to say.
We were well off in all areas. Starts with your leaders, how you respond when your back's against the wall in that second quarter. Converting opportunities, beating on the inside, beating on the outside. It probably just shows you where we're at the moment. So we reflected on a few things we'll keep in-house, but we've got some work to do. And like I said, you know, we're an average side. We're fighting for a spot in the 8.
Yeah, so pretty frank, and let me tell you, the message after the game was pretty frank as well, and it's just the gap between their best and worst is far too big, and they're an average team, as the coach put it. So I'll tell you how they struggled. Inside, smashed inside, lost by 30, contested possession. Smashed even more so outside, lost uncontested possession by 87. So inside, outside, obliteration. And it was the first time in nearly 2 years that they haven't kicked a goal from a stoppage. It wasn't a very good day at all.
He talks about the senior players not standing up at all. And you go back and review some of the vision. The second quarter was obviously the most damning. Luke Shuey taking the eye off the ball here, and Joe Danaher just going, thanks very much, I'll take that. Josh Kennedy unable to stem the flow of goals from the Bombers. A host of these type of moments, but these are your great players. These are the ones that you know are going to respond. But the backlash that's coming from the external media and the fans, they want to see some heads roll. Some of these fringe players, I mean, where do you sit with it all, Benny?
It's going to be a tough week for them. There's going to be a lot. It happened after the Hawks game when they had a bad day, and they've had another bad day yesterday, and it's going to be forthcoming all week. I think they know that. They just have to turn it around. I mean, you can say, yep, we're disappointed, yep, not good enough, but until you come out and turn it around, which they did last time, credit to them. Expectations are really high on this team, and they're internally very high too. So they're very, very disappointed. People say talk shit. They had a bad day. They know they had a bad day. Simo flagged the potential changes that can be made after something as bad as yesterday. There's boys playing well at East Perth. We'll see what happens, but they've got to turn it around this Sunday. They can talk all they want all week, but actions speak louder than words.
Today will be a review and reflection day for the club. They'll analyse that second quarter till the cows came home. 7 goals from the Bombers. They just couldn't put their front foot first. I think when they knew they got down in the first quarter, I think everyone expected a revival, a comeback of sorts. Didn't happen. The skipper, Shannon Hearn, talks about what his role will be this week, being the skipper of the side.
Oh, well, you have to review it. So you review it as a team and as a line, and then individually yourself to make sure that that the blokes are getting themselves up and making sure that they learn from that type of stuff and it doesn't happen again. So we all understand every now and then you have a bad day, but you can't have a really bad off day. You just need to make sure you're doing the basics well and being consistent in the way you're going about your footy. So that's what I'll be aiming to do is, as senior blokes, set a good standard with the way you go about your footy and your training, but just making sure blokes learn from going forward, and then just making sure we have a good attitude going into next week, because you can't, you've got to have a short memory, but you just can't fob it off and go, oh, that's what happens.
We know the changes are going to come, Ben, but it depends where it is. The ruck situation is a very interesting one. Now it's a matter of whether Vardy's done enough to cement his role as the premier ruckman or backup. Fraser McInnes has played the best footy of his short career in his backup forward kind of role, but will he remain? Will his lack of height cost us? You got Petrie knocking on the door now, played his first East Perth game. And you got Lysett, who's now returning to the senior squad at the training, and he's not far away. So what do you think is going to happen there?
Very interesting. I mean, the rucks, they're not Nick Natanui, and they're not Max Gawn. We know that, and they've been competing very hard, and they've been breaking even. Clearances weren't too bad on the weekend. Scored some stoppages, obviously wasn't great. But I think it'll be very interesting to see what they do. As you say, Lysett's not too far away. He's probably 3 weeks away. Petrie came back and performed well.
Kicked the winning point on the weekend?
Kicked the winning point. Well, maybe. Well, the other ruckman, Gilesy, takes some credit there. He was the one who sort of rushed it over the line. But Petrie got it to him. there's options there, and selection this week will be very interesting.
Despite all the doom and gloom that's coming out of this game, we do have to tip our hat to Eleni Gluftis, the first female umpire to feature in the AFL home and away season. Fair bit of bouncing practice throughout the week. I think she's going to put her head down and hit the nets.
It was the turf's fault, apparently.
Is that right?
Apparently.
Okay, but tremendous effort in today's game to break through for the female gender.
Yeah, it is great, and it's so tough for umpires because no one, people bash the umpires.
You're not going to a game to support the umpires, are
No,
you?
that's the thing. There's that one kid, remember him? But it's unthankful work, and the thing is, what you want is the umpires to go unnoticed, and that's such a bad thing to say, but you just want you to be unnoticed today, and you've done a good job, and so it's tricky.
And we're pumping them up for being noticed.
Yeah, so it's very good for female involvement in football, so well done.
Couple of roasts, we'll go straight to it. Nathan Vardy, I think he'll want this moment back again, dropping chest marks.
Yep.
Right when just everything's going bad.
Cue the Benny Hill music.
Pile it on. That's where you want to go high.
Darling didn't, he wasn't alone, but didn't bring the kicking boots this week. It was JK last week.
No,
Darling
2-5.
this week, 2-5. So, and gettable too. Dermot thought he was striking them well though. That's the main thing.
Well, Simo was happy that he got that many options or opportunities towards goal, but I don't think he'll want to review that vision again, old Jack. But the roast. Well, I think this whole episode has been a roast, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's probably fine, to say roast to, let's not name names, let's name the team.
Yeah, well said.